If you're creative and you're a perfectionist, you're screwed. If you're not completing something because you're worried about somebody else's judgment of it, then you have to go off and do it.
Hey.
There he is. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you based? UK?
UK, yes.
I love it. So I wanted to bring Tarath in because 2 days ago I was doing a live and there was one really aggressive person in the comments who's like, "You're not reading my comments," while I was answering somebody else's question. And Tarath was there very nicely saying, "Hey, I think he's just answering somebody else's question right now." So I love the politeness and the believation love. And so I said, "Hey, come on Thursday when we go live and see how I can help." So welcome aboard, man.
Ah, thanks.
So what do you got? How can I help?
So yeah, the question that I asked about what are some of the methods you use to avoid burnout and feeling demotivated?
What are you feeling burnt out by?
Nothing at the moment, just I sometimes, what I find is I'm quite hardworking, but then like sometimes I lack energy to like complete things.
So you get it like 85% of the way and you don't finish it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like getting it to that last like 15%.
Because it's boring or what?
Um, just because I don't like, I don't know. It's like I sort of like I plan it very well, and then like it's just like having that extra kind of push. It's like to get it there. Like you know how like most people just stop before they get fully there.
But why don't you like finishing projects? What happens in that last 15%? It's like, is it just loose
I don't
ends
know.
and boring
I
stuff?
don't. I don't know. It's just I sort of get a bit tired from just like tired, and then like I also don't. I don't know. I think it's maybe like just the fear of completing it,
Hmm.
like you know that kind of thing.
Which means what? That it's done, or that somebody now you have to release it, you have to put it up. What?
Yeah, the whole kind of releasing it side of things.
That somebody's going to judge it and say, "Hey, that logo sucks."
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So it's not a burnout issue. It's more a judgment issue there, because you've lots of
Okay.
energy at the beginning. You've lots of
Hmm.
energy at the beginning to start it. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's start this new thing. I saw your Instagram. You were doing a logo a day for a while,
Yeah. Yeah, I was.
but didn't finish it.
Oh no, no, I did finish it. I
Oh, did
took
you?
the
Did you
15.
post all of them?
Yeah, I got it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So how come you got those done? So that's where they send you an email every day or something that says, "Hey, make a comet and make a dolphin
Yeah.
or make a whatever," and then you have to design a logo around that. Correct?
Yeah.
And so you finish that,
Yeah.
but your own projects, you're leaving at like 85%, 90%.
Yeah. I don't know because it's like with that particular project, that was something like I think it was more the fact that that was to do with just enjoying it and learning and just there was like no real pressure coming outside. It was just to like really try things out and experiment.
So it's
But yeah,
it's injecting that enjoyment because you're doing the
yeah,
same work. You're still
yes,
you're still designing. You're still designing logos. You're still designing. So it's bringing that enjoyment into the actual work that you're creating. And
mm,
some people are going to love what you make, and some people won't.
yep,
But the only way is through.
mm,
So it's leaning in on the things. Like if you're not completing something because you're worried about somebody else's judgment of it, then
mm,
you have to go off and do it
okay,
just to teach yourself.
right,
Because as long as you're making decisions based off what other people think, you're never going to do great
mm,
work.
yeah,
Now you're in a client service business. They have to ultimately like the thing that you're making for them, right?
yeah,
If you said if they say, "Hey, make a comment logo for me," and you make something that they don't want to use,
yeah,
you might lose a client. But
mm,
there's always like the thing that saves the relationship is that there's always revisions. There's always being able to come back and help them,
mm,
and it's if the first version isn't what they want, it's
yeah,
more how you handle the relationship.
okay,
Like the only way you lose a client is if you're really rude to them after the first version. Right? Like if you make a logo and it's not what your client says it sucks because it's not what they want. If you're saying, no, this is exactly what you need, you suck, you don't know what you're looking for, right? That's how you lose the relationship. But if you say, okay, tell me what's wrong with it. I'll fix it. Like, I want you to be happy. And often the best relationships are formed from mistakes, right? Where it didn't necessarily work out the first time, but you listened. And you could be their favorite service provider of all time. Because you're the only one who actually listens, takes feedback, and makes it better. And the beautiful thing about graphic design is there's always a new thing that has to get done.
Yeah.
Do you only do logos, or can you do more work?
So, interestingly enough, about my Instagram is I'm going more because that was during some time out when I was on placement year, so I was doing a few jobs here and there just to practice my skills. I've come back to university and I've decided that the area of graphic design I'm going to go into is user interface and that kind of thing, service design.
Great. So whoever's going to hire you, are you trying to get a job, or are you trying to do your own business?
So my main focuses at the moment are to complete my degree. Then I want to take some time to go traveling and maybe look at potentially having internships, and then that's kind of like what I'm thinking long term.
So whose opinion are you so worried about on releasing things?
I guess like one of the things is I can be quite a bit of a perfectionist. So,
But that's still the same thing. Perfectionism is fear of other people's judgment. We put it as a positive, as like, I want it to be perfect, but really it's just you're afraid that somebody else is going to look at it and say, this sucks. But so who? Because it's not, you're not worried about the client side. You're still going through your degree. Like, is it just Instagram in general, the public, your friends? Whose opinion are you so worried about releasing stuff?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, listen, that's fair.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do is just start training that muscle, just like everything else. Like at the beginning, it's weak, and then as you get more practice in, it gets stronger. So when did you do that logo a day challenge?
It was a couple of months. Actually, no, it was a year ago, and then I finished it on January.
Okay. I would challenge yourself to share something new every day.
Okay.
Even if it's incomplete. You're showing like the work in progress. So if you're doing, if you're doing UI stuff, there may be days where visually there's very little progress.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a finished product like you can for draw a comment logo every day. But even looking at your reaction of releasing incomplete stuff, that means you have to do it.
Yeah.
Like for yourself, to unburden yourself from the feeling of you only can release perfect, amazing things.
Right.
Because it's causing too much stress. Because you think it's causing burnout. It's not the work that's causing burnout. It's just that final bit of releasing it.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if you've seen my just woke up challenge on Instagram in the morning.
Very briefly, yeah.
So if you look at my stories every morning, as soon as I wake up, I film a video and post it to my stories. And it's not very coherent. I look like a mess. It's meant to be the anti-Instagram, where it's Instagram typically people are so caught up in how something looks that I want to show me at my worst. Here's me at my worst. I just woke up. I'm tired. I have bags under my eyes and lines on my face from the pillow, and I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but here's what I can come up with in 15 seconds, and then post.
Okay.
Just to because if you're worried about what people are going to think, then you have. I train myself that I have to do it.
Okay.
Just because. So everything else that I'm going to make afterwards is going to be much better. And so now people have been taking it up of the Just Woke Up challenge. And we only post the ones where, like some people here, some people, they hedge. Some people you can tell they woke up like an hour ago. And they did their hair, and they, they got dressed for the day, and they're like, oh, just woke up. I just woke up. I'm doing Evan's no, you didn't just wake up. You're cheating, you perfectionist. Go
Just
back
woke
to when
up
you
and-
actually just woke up. Just release, right?
Yeah.
Until you break that pattern, it's going to continue to own you for life. And the way to break that pattern is to release imperfect things and be proud of the progress that you're making. Even if you didn't make progress, even just to build the habit, I would post the same thing that you posted yesterday and just write in the caption, I've been sick all day. I didn't make any progress. So here's the same picture as yesterday. Yeah. Training yourself to release imperfect things. And then it won't cause as much stress over you anymore.
Okay.
And think about who's hating on your designs. Like if you make something and the best part of somebody's day is coming and leaving a nasty comment to say, wow, that thing sucks. They must be in a really negative spot.
Yeah.
If that's the best part of the highlight is coming to your Instagram and leaving a negative comment, that's the best part of their day. Their life sucks. And that can remove that empathy can remove the sting from their words. It still might hurt. They say, like, I put a lot of time into that creation, but this person is hurting a lot more. And the more you put out, the more comfortable it gets creating. I think if for me, for example, like filming outdoors was always something I was super terrified to do. People are going to judge me, and who's this guy walking around with a camera?
Yeah.
And I wasn't walking around with a cell phone. I was walking around. Let me get it. I was walking around with this thing. So I'm walking around like this, like, hey guys, like I'm walking around talking into this thing. This is my camera for I don't know, at least 2 years. And so when my agent suggested film outside, it terrified me because I'm worried about other people's judgments. Like random people in my city are going to see me, and this total stranger, I'm not going to film because this total stranger is going to potentially judge me. Now, most people actually don't care. Like if you went off and did that, most people wouldn't even care. And I started just by doing it on side streets where nobody would see me. And then the postman would come, and I would like put the camera down and then bring it back up, right? But now it got to the point where, whatever, I'll just go on the street and film. But it wasn't a natural thing. It wasn't that I just picked up the camera and here, yeah, ready to go. It's a trained muscle. If I'm being super weak because I never used it, to now being able to go off and do it whenever. Even stuff like this, doing a live, used to terrify me. I needed to know before, if we were going to do this, I wanted to know in advance. Okay, Tarath, what are your questions? What specifically are you going to ask me? How many questions do you have? How long is it going to take to make sure that I had the right answers for you? And now I actually prefer the live. Like, I don't know what he's going to bring up. I don't know where it's going to go. This is great, right? But it's a trained muscle. Over years and years and years, you can get there faster, though, by just releasing something every day and being okay with releasing imperfect things, and that the progress is what matters more than this finished perfect product, because it doesn't exist. Because as soon as you're done the UI on something, there's always something that can be better.
Yep.
And then you never release. And that's not just you, that's every artist. If you're creative and you're a perfectionist, you're screwed, because you never, like, creativity is messy.
Yes.
The process is messy. It's supposed to be messy. It's something brand new that hasn't existed before. If it's not messy, then you're just copying somebody else's work because the path has been laid out. If you're forging a new path, you're creative, you're making something that hasn't existed before, it's supposed to be messy. So if you're perfectionist, then you lose and never release. So training the release muscle, it'll cause less stress for you. It might cause some like early stress, like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. But when you face that fear, when you're afraid to do something and then you do it, that's how you actually build more self-confidence, self-love, self-respect. It comes from doing difficult things. So I would do the daily Sarath release challenge, releasing imperfect things just to get used to it and build that muscle. Because otherwise it's gonna be a problem for life.
Okay, I'll get on that as soon as I can. Yeah. Start releasing things every day. That's been really helpful. Thank you.
Cool.
If you want to know why your comfort zone is destroying your life, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.